What is going on, guys? Baint from R8X Digital, and in this video, I'm going to share with you guys what the best way to market your landscaping business is. Now, this is a question that I get on my social media profiles all the time and that I've seen in a bunch of forums, and also a lot of people search for this on Google. So here we are, hopefully able to answer that question for you in this video today. Now, let's talk about the two different ways that you can market your business, right? And if you're just getting started, this will apply to you just as much as if you're already a well-established business, right? So you can go with physical marketing, or you can go the digital route, right? And let me just, I'll make a little text box here so that it's a little more legible than my third grade handwriting. It's actually a lot harder to draw with a mouse than you might think. So don't judge me too hard. Anyways, let's go with physical marketing first. Yard signs, door hangers, flyers / EDDM, everyday direct mail, if you don't know what that is, or like postcards. And you've got like truck wraps, like company t-shirts, and then like business cards, stickers, local posters or flyers, bulletin boards, like anywhere in your local community where people could find you. You know, you leave a business card, or you make a listing for somewhere like a local restaurant. You know how they have the menus with like their sponsors and stuff. All of that stuff could be included in like physical marketing, right? Now, if you do digital marketing, there's a whole other set of options, right? We've got SEO, Google ads, Facebook ads, just social media content, like in general. What else is there? I mean, we could talk about like press releases and stuff like that, which would probably fall more under the SEO boat. But anyway, let's just talk about this. Press releases could be like getting featured in news or radio. I guess maybe that kind of leans more toward the physical side of things, but people that are finding you on a device, on a speaker, whatever, it all kind of fits in the same thing, right? So that gives us a pretty good point to start off with here. So the best way to market your landscaping business, how about we do this? We'll talk about the best things to do physically and the best things to do digitally, right? That way we have a little bit of both, the best of both worlds, which honestly, I think is probably best practice in the first place. And physical marketing wise, we'll start here. Okay. Yard signs are great. Now there's a couple things you can do with yard signs. You can place them in areas that are high traffic. So at intersections, on highways, or anywhere in your area where there's a lot of foot traffic or people in cars driving by popular areas, right? Another place that I'd highly recommend using yard signs is in the lawns of clients that you service, if they'll let you keep a sign out there. Especially if you have multiple clients in one neighborhood, where now anyone that drives through that neighborhood or any of the other neighbors in that vicinity that are not your clients are seeing, hey, this guy does this lawn, this lawn, this lawn, this lawn. Wow, must be the man. So yeah, in clients that you're, servicing long-term, whether it be like, yard work or lawn care, stuff like that, mowing, keeping a sign out front, great. Or if you're doing a project for them and you're going to be there for like a day, couple days, having a yard sign out front while you're doing that work, bingo, that's a move right there. You definitely want that. How many times have you been working? The neighbor comes out, hey, can you give me a quote on this, blah, blah, blah. If they see the yard sign, I mean, they can drive by, they can, walk by, whatever, see it, your name, logo, phone number, email, whatever you put on the signs. They have your information and it's there. Door hangers. This is something that I would only recommend doing in neighborhoods where you already have clients, right? I get so many questions, especially like on TikTok, and a lot of times there's like younger guys that are asking it seems like, but people ask all the time, is it effective for me to go door to door or like door knocking or just, essentially cold approaching people that have no idea you even exist? Go up, knock on their front door, either talk to them or leave a door hanger. And while this can work, honestly, the volume that you're going to have to do with this is insane, right? You have to be prepared to get a lot of no's, a lot of angry FUs. You woke me up. You came and knocked on my door when this was happening. Who are you? Why are you here? But there's just a lot of confrontation. And unless you're a salesman, unless you're comfortable with that confrontation, unless you're really good with your people and communication skills, this one might not be the best. And I don't think it's a suitable option for a lot of people. And then additionally, the effort and the money that you're going to spend, right? Door hangers, you're going to have to get them printed, and maybe they're like 30 or 40 cents a sheet, whatever. Insignificant in the grand scheme of things. However, what's really going to sink you is the amount of time that you're going to have to put into going out and talking to all these people. And that time as a business owner is far better spent doing more productive things for the business, right? For the amount of no's, for the amount of rejection you're going to get, for the amount of F-offs that you're going to receive going door to door, I just don't think it's worth your time for the most part. There's a lot of things that you could do with the money and the time and the effort you're going to spend going door to door that are going to net you a much higher return. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do this. It has its time and it has its place, but you're far better off putting that effort and those assets, that money, into other things that are going to return way higher for you. And by that, I just mean money in, clients out. You could spend $100 on really nice door hangers, and you could spend 3 days, a whole weekend running around talking to people, knocking on doors, and not get a single client, right? That's a huge waste of time, huge waste of money. So door hangers, I would use this in a neighborhood where you already have clients. Again, maybe one where you already have a couple yard signs out. Put it on the doors of people that you don't serve and be like, hey, we service so-and-so across the street. It'd be nothing for us to come and mow your lawn too. Here's what we charge them. Here's what we'd give you. Well, maybe don't tell them what you charge the other person, but here's what we'd give you a quote for. Boom, boom, write it out. Instant quote. They know what they would charge. If they call you, great. If they don't, whatever, they're going to see your truck and your yard signs in there again, right? It's just multiple touches, getting them aware and using it like that. I would 100% rather do door hangers in neighborhoods where I already have clients. So that way it's not like I'm a stranger knocking on your door. Can I sell you a lawn mowing service plan? No, it's, hey, I service the neighbor. It'd be nothing for me to come by and do yours. Would you mind if I just give you a quote really quick? That's a whole different conversation than you just showing up and knocking on a stranger's door, right? If you have a reason to be there, if you can name drop, hey, I do Nancy down the street, it'd be nothing. We're already in this neighborhood a lot, blah, blah, blah. I was just wondering if you're interested in a quote. That's a whole different conversation, whole different opening approach to starting that than just knocking on the door and not having them know who the hell you are. Because that's going to go one of two ways, right? Flyers, EDM, postcards. This is another one where I've heard stories of people spending $7, $8,000 on postcards, and then they get like a couple jobs from it. Absolutely insane, ludicrous. And again, most people don't understand. They severely underestimate the amount of volume that you're going to have to do, right? It's pretty safe to assume with most marketing stuff, 1% to 2% conversion rate. And to give you an idea of what that means, right? If you send out 100 postcards, flyers, door hangers, whatever, and you get 2 clients, that's a blessing. That's a high number right there, right? So think about this. If you're also not necessarily in a metropolitan city or an area that's highly populated, this is also going to be, there's just diminishing returns the lower the population of your city is, right? Because you're going to have to do insane volume. I'm talking about thousands, not hundreds of postcards, thousands of postcards in order to generate something that's going to be worth the time, effort, and money that you put in to do that thing, right? I've, again, heard the stories of guys spending $7,000, $8,000 on these EDM programs, or they're sending out postcards at the beginning of the year, and they don't get anything from it. Now, if this has worked for you, definitely leave a comment and let me know what you spent and how many clients and jobs you're able to generate. Because the people that I've talked to, the consulting that I've done with guys that have spent money on this, it just hasn't been that great. So I've never done this personally with my landscaping business, but from the people that I've talked to and from what I've seen, it's just also the pricing of it. Dude, if you spent $7 or $8,000 on a website or SEO, dude, I can guarantee you that it's going to get you better results than that. So flyers, EDM, postcards, in my opinion, I'm going to rate this like a 3 out of 10. I would not, this would be like one of the last things I spend money on marketing wise. Let's talk about something that's a little bit better though. Truck wraps. This is branding 101. Again, I've run a landscaping business. I've been in your shoes. I've been in the same situations as you have. People coming up off the street. I've done quotes at gas stations. People that have come up and said, "Hey, I see your equipment on your truck. Blah, blah, blah. I see the sign on your truck. I've got this. Can you do this?" The truck wraps, bingo. I like truck wraps a lot. Now, some of them are super expensive. Maybe this isn't something that you do right away, but at least get a name, phone number, and a logo on the side of your truck. It doesn't have to be expensive. It can be a magnet on the door for all I care, but having some sort of branding or lettering on your truck is definitely effective marketing, and people are going to see it, and it will at least start conversations that could lead to you potentially getting clients. Now, if we want to go down a whole nother rabbit hole, when you start putting truck wraps, logos, and phone numbers on your vehicle, you are labeling yourself as a business. Now, depending on where you're at, location-wise, the DOT starts to become a concern. Department of Transportation. Some of you guys might know exactly where I'm about to go with this, and some of you that are a little naive maybe don't. But where I am located, I'm in New Hampshire. And when I was running my landscaping business, we got stopped by the DOT on a couple different occasions, right? For having unmarked, unregistered, non-DOT numbered trucks, because we're in a business vehicle doing commerce, making money, basically, providing a service and conducting business. We need that vehicle registered with this. We're hauling a trailer. You need to weight limits, all this other stuff. Sometimes labeling yourself as a business can do a lot of great for you, but can also put a target on your back from law enforcement or DOT stuff. So not to scare you away from doing this, but just be aware. Just know that those things could happen, right? And if you're at a point where your company is big enough, legit enough, well-known enough, maybe it's time to get those DOT numbers and at least, have some of that stuff prepared should something like that happen. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. It's a pain in the balls, but needs to be done sometimes. Company t-shirts. This is just a professionalism kind of thing. Having your workers, your employees show up at a client's property, all wearing matching t-shirts with the logo, with the phone number on it. It's just a good look. Now, the one thing that I will say about company t-shirts and, hoodies, hats, stuff like that, I never did this with my business. However, maybe it makes sense at a certain degree. And again, I'm just weighing everything out, pros and cons, the negatives and the good stuff, right? From a professionalism point, it definitely, makes you look more legit when you show up and you're all, matchy with your, custom shirts on. That's a good look for you in the client's eyes. What's not a good look is if your potential employees or even you maybe are out in public wearing these company t-shirts, doing things that maybe don't represent the values of your company, right? Again, not to scare you, not to just like plant these seeds of negativity, but it's just something that I've seen happen to other businesses, other people that I know, and would hate to have that happen to you. Now, it looks like my whiteboard has disconnected here, but I'm going to plug along. Business cards, stickers, these are great. The stickers, not so much, but business cards, definitely you're going to want to have a stack of those on you at all times. You never know when you're out and about running into people, brushing shoulders. It comes up in conversation. Again, similar to the you're pumping gas and some random person comes up to you and asks for a quote on this or that or whatever. You're going to find people out in public, or maybe friends, family, you're out just doing stuff regular every day, not business things. And having a couple cards in your wallet's never a bad idea. You never know who you're going to run into. So having business cards on deck is also a move. Local flyers, bulletin boards, stuff like that. If you got a little bit of time, slap them up there. I wouldn't put too much time or effort into investing in this, right? So there we go. All of our physical marketing is checked off, and we know what we're talking about here. Let's move into the digital side of things. And I'm going to pause this and try to reconnect my whiteboard so I can start drawing again. All right, we're back. We got our pen and we're ready to go. So there we go. Physical marketing is taken care of now. Let's move on to the digital side of things, right? Because this is really my forte, my expertise. This is what I do every day for a living. I talk to landscaping companies and help them with this stuff, right? So I have a general pulse as far as what works, what doesn't, and where you might be best suited to get started, right? And where you're going to get the most bang for your buck. Fittingly enough, SEO is number one on the list. If you don't know what SEO is, it's search engine optimization, basically getting your website to be visible in Google, Bing, Yahoo, but primarily Google, right? When someone searches landscaping near me, your company shows up. When someone searches your company name, your company shows up, right? So this is a really, really great way to, over a long term, really stand out, dominate your area. I highly, highly recommend SEO. This is probably the number one service that I perform. In my opinion, it's what I'm the best at. You know, I've got top ranking landscaping websites across the United States at this point. And the returns that they're able to generate for myself and for my clients is severely disproportionate in comparison to something like Google, Facebook, social media, press releases, stuff like that, right? Press releases is actually kind of a part of SEO. We do that typically around the second or third month. We'll do like a news outlet syndication kind of thing, getting a little into the weeds, but SEO is great because I've talked about this in other videos, but the money that you spend on a nice website, a high performing website, and on SEO services, it's like, think about this, right? So a client pays you to cut the lawn. You cut the lawn, and the lawn can't be uncut. Once the work is done, it's there, it's permanent. And until the next week when you have to cut the grass again, what you did is going to stick, right? I really like SEO for this reason. Your website and your Google business profile are assets for your company. Investing into these things is going to pay you in dividends over the long term. They're going to stay generating clients. If you get your business profile and your website ranked in Google, it's going to get seen by people searching for it every single day, every single month, over however long you run your business, right? SEO is by far the highest return on investment marketing strategy in the digital category. Now, I'm a huge fan of it. It does take a little bit of time. It's a long-term strategy. Typically, building a website takes anywhere from a week to a month. And then from there, to rank the website in Google, if you're coming with a fresh domain name, you just bought xyzlandscaping.com, Google doesn't know, like, trust, doesn't have any authority or brand built with your website yet. So it takes a little bit of time to establish a reputation with Google and signal the things that Google looks at to rank it. And that takes typically 2 to 3 months to get started. And then typically even better results are seen between 6 months into a year. So it's not overnight. However, this is going to pay your business for the long run. Over time, again, it's just you put the money and effort in, you actually have something tangible that you can walk away with. The work that's done to your website can't be undone. And it's not something that's going to generate leads for you tomorrow, potentially, although I've seen it happen. I've had a couple client websites where we published the website and the next day they got a $10,000 landscaping project through the website. So it's not unheard of. It does happen, especially if you are in a smaller population city. Man, it's like taking candy from a baby. We can get your website at the top spot relatively easily, right? It's more in the towns where it's like, all right, you've got 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 plus. That's when it becomes a little more of like the 3 to 6 month journey to get there. But generally speaking, the return on investment, it's going to be the best. And honestly, I would recommend it to any business, landscaping or otherwise. It's just, having a website at the top, having Google business profile at the top with reviews, your ranking, it's the one of the best things. It's the gravy, the bread and butter of your lead generation for your business, especially as we move further and further into the digital age where everybody's looking for their landscaper on Google, right? Word of mouth is great. It'll still happen. But especially when you start to look at people that are my age, in my generation, like we're the next group of homeowners, right? And all of us are on Google, man. So a lot of those, dinosaur guys that are like, hey, I've been running my business on word of mouth for 25 years. I've never struggled for work, blah, blah, blah. It's like, all right, we'll see what's going on in 2-3 years time. So that's my 2 cents on that. Google ads. If you're going to go the paid ads route, Google or Facebook, I'd recommend Google first. Biggest thing with Google is the intention. This is, again, why SEO is just so great and far superior in my opinion, because if someone is searching on Google, landscaper near me, they are looking for a landscaper near them. And so with Google, you can pay to be at the top of the page and show up for that search result. Or if you do SEO, you can show up there organically. The biggest thing that I have with Google ads is, for one, they're more expensive than Facebook ads because Google is aware that the intention is higher. The quality of lead that you get from Google ads is, generally speaking, higher and better than Facebook ads. Facebook, you get a lot of tire kickers, people that forget they even filled out your form. You call them and it's a dead number, dead email, whatever. Facebook, we'll talk about that in a second, but there's a lot more things you have to do to be successful on Facebook ads. Google ads, again, because people are searching for it, it's great. But the only thing that I would say is, when is the last time that you clicked on a Facebook ad, or on a Google ad on purpose, right? These get a lot of accidental clicks. People that just, are looking for something quick, fast. They click on the first one. They don't really realize what they're doing. It can be effective. I've run Google ads for clients and they've been extremely, extremely profitable. However, I don't know if it's my first choice. And to run Google ads, you need a good website and Google Business Profile anyway, because that's where you're mostly going to be driving the traffic to. Google ads are getting you clicks and impressions, but you need a solid website or landing page or Google Business Profile to drive that traffic to, which then converts them via a form or a phone number, whatever, right? So Google and SEO, they kind of go hand in hand. Honestly, I would lay the foundation with website and SEO. And then if you have additional budget, boost up the website with Google ads, right? That's typically the strategy that I've used. And for the clients that I have that we do Google ads for, we are also running their website and SEO most of the time, right? And again, those two things are they go hand in hand. They work nicely. They work synergistically together, right? Just to kind of recap pros and cons of Google ads. Google ads, more expensive, but higher quality lead. And honestly, you're going to pay for it. It's going to be a little more expensive, but it can work. It's really great, especially if you have a high quality website to drive them to afterwards. Let's talk about Facebook ads. Facebook ads is by far the riskiest in my experience. I do have clients that I run Facebook ads for. I have been successful with them. We have seen good results. Again, we'll just run through the pros and cons very quickly. Typically, the cost per lead is low. It's one of the cheapest forms of paid advertising. You're going to get a lot of volume, a lot of exposure. Facebook has obviously millions and millions and millions of users. So it's great for brand campaigns. It's great for getting exposure. It's great for letting people know that you exist. Facebook ads are also great for retargeting. On your website, you can put a Facebook pixel. And if someone has visited your website, you can then retarget them with Facebook ads. This is where it becomes a little more effective, right? But if you're going in dry and you're just thinking that you're going to give Facebook money and they're going to give you leads, I think that's the common misconception. That's not the case, I promise you. So Facebook ads, sometimes it's like, just putting your money in a paper shredder, but oftentimes it can be effective as well. Again, more risky, cheaper leads, but the intention isn't there. Again, nobody's on Facebook looking for their landscaper. You have to have good content. You have to be in front of the camera, showing your face or your equipment, or walking around a job site, doing something to stop them from scrolling right past. If it's just a still image, if it's just text on a screen, pictures don't really convert that great from what I've done. The guys that I've done Facebook ads with that crush it are the ones that are willing to take a little bit of time to make a nice video that has a little bit of scripting and a little bit of thought put into it. And we use that. And then also the guys that are running Facebook for retargeting as well, that have a nice website. If their website is using SEO and it's ranked in Google and it gets a lot of traffic and we can retarget that traffic with Facebook or Google ads, then, the cost per lead and the value of that starts to increase, right? So Facebook ads, I would not recommend it for beginners. If you're going to do the Facebook ads route, definitely hire a professional to do it. Again, I do have clients that I run Facebook ads for, but if you're looking for something to get started, you're like, hey, I know I'm at the point where I need to start marketing my business. Here's what I've got. Here's my budget. Where would you recommend I start? Get a website, run some SEO, get it ranking. If you got additional budget, let's do Google ads. But Facebook is something that I would not necessarily steer you away from, but I would just be like, hey, let's cover these other bases first, because if you want to do Facebook and we've got a website that's getting traffic with the pixel and everything, it's just going to make life a lot easier on the Facebook side of things. Because I've seen a lot of people just absolutely take a stack of money, light it on fire, and get nothing from it. So Facebook, not my preferred method of paid advertising. I do offer it as a service, but I'd steer you towards one of these other two options to get started. Let's talk about social media content. Again, this is one of those ones where if you've got your other bases covered, this can be a great thing. I would never, ever, ever tell you don't post on social media. It's a waste of time. It's not. Having good pictures, having good videos, putting some effort into your social media is always recommended. However, I wouldn't bank on social media being the thing, being the vehicle that gets you more clients, right? It's not a lead generation asset. It exists as a fancy business card, a portfolio, something pretty for your clients to look at. And it's basically another signal of saying, hey, we're a legit company. Look at all this great stuff we do, right? Really great for branding, really great for reputation, not necessarily the biggest tool for lead generation. Again, because people aren't necessarily on social media to look for their landscaper. If you start posting landscaping pictures and content, I guarantee you most of your followers are probably just going to be other landscaping companies, right? So it is what it is. I still would recommend doing it. And social media kind of indirectly can affect your SEO and your website rankings as well. I've talked about that in other videos, and we'll probably make like an in-depth SEO breakdown as well. Lastly, let's talk about press releases, radio, news outlets, featured, posts, stuff like that. I do typically around the second or third month with my SEO clients, we'll do a press release, get them featured in news outlets. Typically, if we have a new story or like a service or something, they did an acquisition with their company, something newsworthy, this can be really, really great. This is a huge bump and boost to the SEO and to the ranking of your website. And also as far as establishing your business as an entity in Google, this can be really great because Google basically sees, hey, here's all these high authority sources pointing back to this company. They must be really good. So that's a good thing. If you're interested in having a press release done for your company as kind of like a one-off thing, shoot me a message. We can make it happen. If it comes to like radio or doing like TV ads or, Spotify ads, other random kind of one-off paid advertising, I don't think there's a huge return on this unless it's like a seasonal thing. I was actually in the car the other day and I heard a advertisement on the radio for a local landscaping company about their Christmas lights and stuff like that. And for something like that, where it's a very, very seasonal service and you've got, a small window of time where you got to make all the money and get it done and get those clients and get in and get out, like the Christmas lights thing, then it makes sense where it's like, again, if you've got all of your other bases covered and you've got extra spend, extra marketing budget, yeah, sure, do a radio ad, whatever. But I wouldn't be banking on getting much from it. It's more of those things where it's just like people hear about it, they see you exist, and then maybe if they go and search on Google, and again, you've done your SEO and your ranking there, they say, hey, that's that guy from the radio station, and then boom. Radio is great. Social media is great for brand awareness, people just having you in their mind, knowing that you exist. And then when they see you, or if they're looking for you and they find you on one of these other platforms, that's where it's great because you've kind of planted the seed in their brains, right? They know you're a real company. So that's kind of my overall breakdown. I know this video got pretty lengthy, but I hope you found some value in it. If you're a landscaping company, you're doing 100K, 200K, and you want to grow and scale and you want help with your digital marketing, feel free to check out the first link in the description. You can book a free one-on-one consultation call with me, and we'll kind of go over what needs to be done, look at what you've already got, and kind of come up with a plan as far as what we can make happen with that. If not, that's totally cool. I appreciate you coming and watching the video. If you made it this far, you might as well like and subscribe. We've got more landscape marketing content coming very, very soon, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, stay up. Peace.